Welcome to Retirement GPS, navigated by Zynergy, your roadmap to a secure and confident retirement. Each week, we explore strategies, stories, and planning frameworks designed to help you navigate the complexities of life after work. From tax planning to investments, income strategies to risk management, our goal is to give you the clarity and confidence you need to make informed decisions. But retirement isn't just about the numbers. It's also about lifestyle, purpose, and peace of mind. We're here to guide you through both the financial details and the personal dimensions of this next chapter. Let's chart today's course.
Thank you for joining us for the first episode of our Retirement GPS podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Zacharczyk, the founder and CEO of Zynergy Retirement Planning. We are a fee-only financial planning firm located in sunny, beautiful Red Bank, New Jersey. Well, sunny and beautiful this time of year anyway. We're recording in the summer. I've been a CFP, a certified financial planner, working with retirees for more than 20 years after completing an 8-year career as an options specialist on Wall Street. I'm here with my co-host, Zane Belcak. Zane, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. So a little bit of background on me. I recently graduated from Monmouth University in West Long Branch with my bachelor's and master's degree. I actually started at Zynergy about a year ago in the paraplanner position, and I'm just recently moving into a new position as associate planner. Part of the reason I was so drawn to retirement planning is because I always had an interest in planning and honestly finance in general. The problem I see for retirees is frankly just not knowing where to start or who to trust in the process.
Exactly. And that's what this podcast is for. The people this podcast is for is those serious about retirement. So whether you're 5 years away, 10 years away, or just around the corner. And in fact, we on occasion have people walk in and say, I retired yesterday and I want to do my retirement planning. If you're looking for that guidance, the insight, just a little peace of mind, you're in the right place.
And if you're not thinking about retirement at all, this might be a wake-up call.
For sure. Now, this is our first inaugural podcast, so a little nervous, Zane?
A little bit, Ryan. A little bit. I'm ready to go. How about you?
Yeah, I'm excited. And because, my opinion is like if we screw up, it's probably only our moms that'll hear it. So let's get started. We'll dive in. So we're going to start with a story. It's a true one, but I've changed the names to protect the innocent. The story is about Marie and Mike. Marie is 62 and has been married to Mike, who is 64, for about 40 years. She had a successful career as an executive at a pharmaceutical firm here in New Jersey and had always been the financial quarterback of the family. Like many wives in the household, she was paying the bills, managing the money, managing the bank accounts, the investments, and trying to plan for the future all at the same time. After decades of hard work, raising her 3 kids and living within their means, Marie and Mike were finally turning their attention to starting to think about retirement. But here's the twist. Marie had no idea how to retire.
In my career in finance, Ryan, or at least what I've seen from my time being here, people think, I've saved money, I've worked hard. Shouldn't this be easy now? But it's not, obviously. Retirement it's a whole new game.
Exactly. Saving for retirement and then actually planning retirement are really two different sort of sides of the same coin. Marie had a stockbroker for her investments. She had an insurance agent for coverage to protect them, an attorney who drafted wills, but none of them were really looking at the big picture, working together. And retirement is really about integration, not just the individual financial tools. She started doing some research on her own, thinking, there's no other way to do it. So she decided that she was going to read articles about annuities, Roth conversions, long-term care insurance, estate planning, nightmares that had come up that she had heard about. And instead of feeling empowered by this information, actually felt disempowered. She actually felt overwhelmed, helpless.
When you get a little paralyzed, analysis by paralysis by analysis, when you have too many voices, too much noise, you end up freezing.
Yeah, and it's true of a lot of people in a lot of things. I mean, I was putting together a shelf the other day, and I started reading the instructions, and there was no words, and it was actually pretty hard to follow, and I got so overwhelmed I just kind of stepped back because I couldn't figure it out on my own. And even in the simplest tasks, we find that we can have paralysis set in. So for Marie, months went by. with no progress until one night at her monthly book club, she was speaking with a friend, Gail. And Gail had recently retired, and she actually looked really happy, relaxed, contented. And Marie was a little bit baffled. Like, how could she be retired and just kind of be so at peace with it? So she asked her, how did you figure all this out? And Gail said, well, I didn't figure it out. She said, I work with a company called Zacharczyk. And so she told Marie about our GPS program. And a week later, Marie called us, set up an appointment. When we met and we were talking through our process and we were talking through GPS and our program, she started to really light up. And I was a little bit confused by that. So I asked her and I said, you look like you're very excited. And, why is that? And she said, I had no idea there was a business like yours that even existed. Someone who looked at all the different various components of retirement. And I finally feel like there's hope that we'll be able to get retired. So Marie and Mike became members in 2018, and they've been happily retired since 2020. And the ironic thing is they actually retired in February of 2020, right before the COVID crash that sent markets down 38% in 6 weeks. So because they had a plan, because they stayed the course, they're now living the life they worked so hard to build.
And honestly, that's the key, isn't it, Ryan? Retirement isn't just about surviving that next big market drop like COVID. It's about building the framework that really keeps you confident no matter what.
Yeah, that's right. And after seeing the same problem time and time again, that's why we decided to build our GPS framework to solve this real specific problem. GPS, if you're sort of new to Zacharczyk and what we do, GPS is our goal-based planning system, and it's the foundation of everything we do. We designed it to model a GPS program like in your car. So if you had a GPS mapping system, in the old days, it used to be a map that you would fold up and put into your glove compartment and then unfold and sort of finagle with while you were trying to drive and figure out where you were going. GPS changed all that. The GPS program now in your car is a video map that is dynamic and changes as your position in the globe changes, uses satellites, looking from above. And that's what our goal-based planning system is. It's a GPS program that is dynamic, real-time, helping you to adjust to account for the various changes, whether it be in the environment, i.e. the road, or your goals. If your destination is Albuquerque, New Mexico, but you want to stop for dinner, gas, and coffee along the way, GPS can account for that. Our GPS model can do the same in your retirement planning. It's built around 10 key components, each one critical to a successful retirement. Think about them like the legs of a table. If one is missing, then the whole thing will collapse.
It's not enough to have great investments if you haven't done something like tax planning, or to have a giant nest egg but no idea what makes you happy. They all support each other.
Yeah, the 10 components we'll be covering in this podcast series so that you have a good understanding. We're going to spend some time first just really understanding each one of the components. And then as time goes on, we're going to dive deep into these individual components to help you understand what you should be thinking about as far as the 10 components related to your retirement. The first is goal setting. And again, like any GPS system, if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. But goal setting is extraordinarily important to set the tone as to where are we going and which direction are we heading. Next, we're going to look at budgeting and cash flow. That's our second component. What we found in retirement is it's not really about what you make. It's really about what you spend. We've had people that we've retired that made $50,000 a year their entire career and retired in a very, very comfortable lifestyle. And others that made $500,000 a year that we could not get to retire for years and years because they were spending above their means. And next is our emergency reserve. And we like to talk about this as sleeping well versus eating well. How much cash do you have if an emergency were to come up? But we don't ever want to have too much cash that we're losing money to inflation every year. So we'll dive deep into that. Investments and asset allocation. Where are you investing your money? How is it allocated? Can you survive that storm? If you retire February before the COVID crisis and a 38% correction in the market, will that be devastating or will that just be par for the course? Retirement planning. We've developed a retirement glide path that actually has 20 different components. So if you're within 5 years retirement or 2 years after retirement, these 20 components are going to come into play to coordinate to make sure that all of the things that you need to be successful in your retirement are accounted for, discussed, and managed properly. Number 6, risk management. These are your insurances. Now, we are a fee-only financial planner, as we told you in the beginning, so we don't sell insurance, but we want to look at 5 different types of insurances just to make sure that you've got the right components in place. Life insurance is the first one. If you're about to retire, you may not need life insurance. So we're going to take a look at if you have whole life policies. What do you have? What do you need? And what's appropriate for your age and your direction in life. Number 6 is risk management insurances. There are 5 different insurances that we're going to dive into to make sure that you're covered and that if something devastating happens to you, that your loved ones aren't the ones that are holding the bag financially for it. Life insurance, disability insurance, health insurance, long-term care insurance, and property and casualty insurance, your home and auto. So these are the 5 components that we'll dive deep into and have a good understanding of. Next is tax planning. And tax planning, I've learned, even though I thought it was sort of a side effect to financial planning, I've learned to a lot of people that we work with, it really is a core component of what they want from us. Because I can tell you right now, we've worked with enough people that are far happier saving $1,000 that they would normally have paid to the IRS than they are making $10,000 in their investments. People do not want to overpay the IRS. And like we always say, pay the IRS what they're due, but please don't leave them a tip. Number 8 is estate planning. And estate planning is really important because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a proper estate plan in place so that the people that you're leaving your money to, your loved ones, don't have an easy, efficient, and very low tax and cost way to receive that money, then leaving a mess at your death is certainly not a great way to end your wonderful financial planning that you've done over time. Number 9 is education planning. So putting together a plan to save money either for your children's education or your grandchildren's education. Not all of our retirees like to do education planning, but there are certainly a substantial percentage of our retirees who like to save for their kids' college education, and having the right tools to make sure that you're saving in the right ways and not affecting FAFSA for your children is very important. And lastly, retirement, lifestyle, and happiness. So, 9 components are great. 9 components all related specifically to money and your financial life. And the 10th component is making sure that you're happy. So we retired enough people who really aggressively retired from something, but had no idea what they were retiring to, that we developed our retirement, lifestyle, and happiness program to make sure that we focus on the 3 components of happiness: pleasure, passion, and purpose.
Seems simple enough, Ryan. I was actually thinking about a saying that you always mention, retiring to something, not from something. And it's great that it's not really just about finances. It's more so about life, what brings you joy, honestly, what gives you a retirement purpose.
Yeah, it really is true. Because what's good is a big bank account if you're unhappy. And money, we all know at this stage of our lives, is not what provides us happiness. It definitely cushions the blow when we get to our problems, but it's not what provides us happiness. And what good is it if you're overpaying your taxes or if your estate plan fails your family? Ignore any one of the GPS components at your own peril.
So I guess to discuss what's next, here's what you can expect kind of going forward. Each episode will essentially focus on one GPS component, and the goal is to basically break it down so it's understandable, useful, and actionable.
You'll walk away each week with steps that you can take immediately to improve your retirement outlook. This isn't theory, this is real world planning for people who want to live well in retirement.
So let's kick things off with a few action steps. So first off is subscribing to the podcast. That way you'll never miss an episode. Listening to episode 2, which should be out now, where we'll tackle the first GPS component, goal setting. This is where everything begins. And finally, a good question to think about is, what does my ideal retirement look like? You may honestly be surprised with what comes up.
We're excited with you guys to be on this journey. Whether you're 5 years from retirement or already there, the GPS system is here to help you navigate with clarity and confidence. Until then, keep planning and keep your retirement on course.
Thank you for listening to Retirement GPS, navigated by Zenergy. To explore today's topic further, visit our blog mile markers at zenergyretirement.com/blog, where we offer detailed strategies, examples, and downloadable tools to support your retirement journey. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at Zenergy Retirement Planning for weekly insights, checklists, and planning reminders. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with someone planning for their future. Until next time, keep navigating toward a confident retirement. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended as investment, legal, or tax advice. Listeners should consult their own financial, tax, and legal advisors before making any decisions. Zenergy Retirement Planning is a registered investment advisor located in Red Bank, New Jersey.